Okay, guys, welcome back after the longest break. Okay, we had in this MSBI training sessions. I think we had 3 days break, right? So, and before starting the session, again, let me start with uh, the test result. People had done a good job, but communication, as I told to a couple of guys, communication needs to be improved. The way you are communicating your answers to the questions, and the next thing. Um, Go for different examples. Don't ever go for adventure walks. People are not asking for examples from adventure walks database. Why? Because they are fed up. They're really fed up with the answers that they are getting. Everyone used to answer by considering adventure works as database. So try to work on different databases. Try to get or steal databases from your friends or from your friend's company, or try to create your own database and work on it. First, think about a company or business and then start creating your database. It may take a lot of time. It may take like 3 months, 2 months, but you'll get benefited for sure. You'll get a lot of experience on SQL Server first thing, and then you'll get different, you can answer in a different way rather than going for adventure works as example always. Okay, fine. So good job in the test. And now we're done with SQL Server Basics, SSIS and MDX. And as I told you, there will be one test again on SSIS and MDX. I will send you the test in mail today. And I'm expecting the assignment. The assignment should be submitted in 2 days from the moment you receive my mail. And now we're going to start discussing about the next tool, that is SSRS. So SSRS, you all know SSRS stands for SQL Server Reporting Services. So before starting this, let me tell you once again about msbiguide.com, the place where you can find all the videos once the session is completed. Under MSBI training videos menu, you can find all the training videos, and you can find different articles in the same website. Now let me take the pen. I'm taking notepad. So okay, so you all know from different data sources we use SSIS, right, to move the data into one destination, and we are calling it as data warehouse, and we are building SSIS cube on the data warehouse. Why? Because this is slow, right? This is your data warehouse and this is your cube. You are going for cube or SSIS solution just because your data warehouse is taking a lot of time. So this cube is coming into picture. And where this SSRS? SSRS will come once the data is ready. So here the data is good. I have complete data, as well as the performance of querying is also too good. Then it is ready for report. So SSRS will come into picture here. So this picture is the one what we discussed almost I can say 40 days back, I guess. So the problem here is it is not always the data for the reports will come from Cube database. It is not always. Only whenever your database is not performing well, whenever you have performance issues with your data warehouse, that is this guy, then only you will get data from your Cube. Okay? Else, you will get data directly from data warehouse to your reports. In that case, you will not have this guy. You will not have this SSIS database itself. Why? Because you don't have any performance issue, and you can play with the data that you have in your data warehouse if it is pretty small. You don't need a cube extra layer between reports and the data warehouse. And the third case is, first case is you will get data from your OLAP cube. The second case is you will get data from your data warehouse directly. And the third case is you will get data from data warehouse for few reports and from cube for few reports. So you may be pointing to both the databases. It is also a possible chance, a possible case. So What I'm trying to say here, tell here is data source is not, you don't need to worry much about the data source. Data source can be either data warehouse or cube or both. Or you may be pulling data from different Excel sheet also. There is a chance. People pointing to Excel to get the data to show in SSRS reports. So don't get panicked. Don't get worried about this data source in SSRS. SSRS can be getting data from different sources, either from Excel or from another database or from data warehouse or from Cube database or from Oracle Cube also it is possible. So like that. You have so many source options for SSRS reports. Now we are going to start our discussions on SSRS and designing the reports using SSRS. So let me start by taking the bid solution and creating a new project. So I'm going to create a new project. Let me maximize this. And as usual, I have to go to new and select the project option. So here, if you see, you have three different things. One is report server project wizard and report model project and report server project. There are three different types of templates for reporting services projects. So let me give you a brief description about all the three, and then we can jump into all these three one by one. So the report server project wizard and report server project, there is no much difference. There is no much difference. I'm telling you, just 1% difference between report server project wizard and report server project, and I'm gonna show you. This guy, as the name says, it opens wizard whenever you open the project. This guy opens an empty solution. That's the only difference. Apart from that, I don't see any difference here. Let me demonstrate the same in today's session. And the next thing is report model project. Here you can define a model, report model, and using report builder, you can generate ad hoc reports. Ad hoc means you can drag and drop the column, just like in SSAS Cube browser. There is the columns and the rows are not fixed in the report model projects. You can have it dynamic. You can that is why we call it as ad hoc reporting. And very rare cases people go for report model projects, and most of the cases they go for report server projects. So let's start and discuss about report server project wizard and report server project, and we're going to spend a lot of time. I can say 99 or 95+% of time that we're going to spend on SSRS will be on report server project wizard and report server project. And even in report server project wizard, we are not going to spend more than 5% of our time, and 90% of the time we will be spending on report server project. So let's start with report server project wizard. Okay, this is a wizard project. So RS wizard. Let's say RS wizard is the name of the project, and this is the place where I'm gonna store the solution. So desktop projects folder. And when I click on OK, you can see before the solution open, before the empty solution open, a wizard will open here. Just wait for it. It is going to open now. So this is the difference. This is the major difference. When you open the solution, generally what happens? Generally, an empty solution should get created, but here a report wizard will get open. So like this. And I have to give some data source. I'm gonna click on next. I'm gonna finish it in flash of time. But we are gonna revisit everything. Don't get worried. We are gonna revisit. First, I'm gonna show you the difference between report server project wizard and report server project. So first, it has to get it will ask for some data source. I'll give some data source. As I told you, don't get worried. We are gonna revisit all these things. And select the data source. I'm taking AdventureWorks. Fine. Next, query builder. I'll take select start from the product, some table. So click on next. either table or matrix. I'll go for table. Nothing group by, and I'll take English product name. I'll take color, and I'll take class. So let me take this class to the first level, this one to the second level. You don't worry about all these things, as we are going to discuss about all these things later. Size range, I'm going to add a couple of things here like this. So click on next, next, and next, next, and I'm giving first report. Click on finish. You can see when I open the report server project wizard, it opened the wizard directly. So by default the wizard will open, and at the end a report will be created. This is report server project wizard. Okay. Now let me open one more solution file. Sorry, one more new project I can say, and this time I'm gonna take report server project. I'm gonna name it as RS first. Okay, this is my first report server project. Let's say here when I click on OK, you can see the empty solution file is created, then opening the wizard. But it is not the case with report server project wizard. When I create the project, by default a wizard is created. Now once the wizard is created, that means once the first report is created, you can see all the things remain the same. Share reports, share data sets here, and reports folder, here also reports folder. When I right click on reports folder, you can see add new report. Under add you have two items and properties. Even here you will find the same. There is no much difference between these two. This is what I said, just only 1% difference, and that difference is whenever you open a report server project wizard, it will by default it will create one, it will open the report wizard to create your first report. You can create one, you can open one more wizard by selecting this add new report. The wizard open. Now this is my report server project. Right click, add new report is gonna do the same. So there is no difference in any of the properties, except when you open report server project wizard, it is gonna open a report wizard by default, but it is not the case with report server project. So do you think we need to, do we need to spend time on this report server project wizards? I don't think so. So we're not going to discuss anything about report server projects. The only thing that it is going to do is when you create the project solution, this guy will open by default. There it is by default. Here I'm opening on my own. That's the only difference. So I'm continuing the same report server project wizard concepts in report server project solutions. The wizard, here you can see you have the same option of adding the wizard. So why you need to go through all the things again and again? First time in report server project wizard and second time in report server project. So I completely skip the part. Let's see now what are all the different options you have in report wizard and how to configure the same. So report wizard, when you create a new report server project wizard solution, this guy will open by default, and the first thing you have to set is the data source. Data source says from where you are going to get the data for the report. Let's say I'm getting data from AdventureWorks database, then I will name it in like this. I'm not using proper naming conventions. It's always good practice to use proper naming conventions like AdventureWorks full name or AdventureWorks data source, something like that, which gives proper and full meaning to the name. Now the type will say what is the source type. From where are you gonna get the data from your analysis services, or are you gonna get the data from any different database or Oracle or report server model? I mean the model projects we discussed. I told you, right, there is one more type of project that is not report server model. And SharePoint list, you can use SAP NetWeaver BI, that means SAP BI, and Hyperion Essbase, Teradata. So you have different types of data sources using which you can connect to the database from where you are gonna pull the data to your reports. In this case, we are gonna use SQL Server. Why? Because AdventureWorks is present in my local computer SQL Server. And connection string. Here you can type the connection string. For example, data source. If you know how to type what is the syntax of the connection string, you can directly type, or better take the help of edit button here. So edit button, here you selected the date type as Microsoft SQL Server. So here it has taken Microsoft SQL Server, or you can change it here also. You have one more place where you can change the option of type of the data source. Okay, let me go with the SQL Server, and here you have to provide the server name. It's just like in your SSAS, where we have done lots of connections to our SQL Server database. So in this case, I'm giving localhost, where I have the database installed, and it is Windows authentication. I think I've given SQL Server. Let me try that, whether I remember the password or not. Sorry. I think I've given some password. Let me try that, whether I'm correct on whether I remember the password or not. Yeah, I remember the password. So I'll save my password here and select the database from where I'm gonna pull the data. So this is AdventureWorks DW, and you can test it whether you have given all the credentials correctly or not. I did, and click on OK. So the data source page is set. So the first step is done. What is this button? What is this checkbox? Make this as a shared data source. So this guy will make the data source, whatever we created, as a shared one. That means this guy is gonna create a template or a data source under this folder. You can see shared data source folder, right? So it is gonna create under that, so that the same data source can be used for among different reports. Let's say you have to create 500 reports. For that 500 reports, if the data is coming from the same data source, then you don't need to create 500 times, right? Instead of that, you can create it once and make use of the same in all the reports. So this guy will create a data source, will create a shared data source. I'm unchecking this. I'm not gonna create now, and I'll demonstrate the same in next example. So click on next. So the first step of designing the report is setting the data source, and the next step is pulling the data from data source. So you can write your SQL query, or if you are connecting to SQL Server analysis services, you can write your MDX query here, or you can make use of the query builder, which helps you in designing your query. So if you are too lazy and if you are poor in SQL Server, then depend on this. So using this button, you can add tables. Let's say, let me add product, and let me also add internet sales, so that I can create a good report rather than a junk one. So from this, I'm gonna get English product name, and I'm gonna get color, and I'm gonna get, let's say, class of the product. Okay, and from this, I'm gonna get sales amount. I don't know whether I have discount amount, total product cost, tax amount, and sales amount. And this is the, you can see the properties. You can see what is the join it is set. It is set, the inner join is set between these two, and you can change the properties here. But you don't need to if you have defined it properly in your database. Just to show you how I mean, whether you can change it or not, or you can directly change it from inner join to left outer join here in the query. When you are selecting the tables here, you can see the query was generated. For example, if I uncheck the class, you can see the class is here, right? The dimproduct.class is here. If I uncheck that, you can see that is missing now. So the query will be dynamically changing based on the selections or the changes that we are making. And see, this guy has become left outer join. Okay. So let me change it back to inner. Why? Because inner is fine for me. And if you want to test the data, click on this and it will display the data if the query is correct. It is retrieving the data, fine. So stop that. Click on OK. Now the same query will be copied to the query string. And if you know how to write the query, then you can write your own query. If you're too good in SQL Server and if you have good grip on the database. So let me copy the same. Click on next. The third step is selecting the report type. What type of report you want to design? I want to here you have two options, tabular and matrix. So you can go for any one of these. So let me differentiate these. Let me explain the difference between these two and then we can jump into the next page. The tabular is two-dimensional. You are very well aware of this. Select star from employee. That's a two-dimensional. And this matrix is, this guy will have rows, this guy will have columns and the measures inside it, or the values, you can say, metrics. So this is similar to SSAS browser kind of reporting. So if you want to design such kind of report, then go for matrix or you can go for tabular format. So let me demonstrate, let me show you an example of both. I have selected tabular in this case. Click on next. Here the option group, if you want to group by something. Let's say I want to group by class. Class is the first group, and then I want to group by color, and then I want to group by English problem. You can see how it looks. The first one will be class, second one will be color, and third one will be product, and then the detail information will be coming. You can see that. And now here I am selecting these four as details. Okay, or else I'll do one thing. I'll shift this guy to page. What is this page? Page means I've selected color under page option. So each color details will be in one page. First page, it will show black color. Second page, it will show blue color. Third page, it will show red color and so on. This is groups. How it will be grouped. First step, class, and then products. Under that, the details should come. Okay. Click on next. How you want to show, whether you want to show in step format like this, the first group will start in the first column, second group will start from second column, and the remaining details will come under that, or block type like this. Let me go for it. It's just a type. You can simply check that. I'm going for, you can just try that. I'm going for step, and if you want to include subtotals, you can check this box. Let me uncheck this now for now. And enable drill down is a beautiful option. Enable drill down. What is meant by drill down? The plus sign will be there. If you click on the plus, the data under that will be expanded. And if you click on minus, it will be collapsed. I'm going to show you that I enable the drill down here. So let me click on next. Here they have given a couple of styles. What style you want to go for? And let me go for my favorite color. One of my favorite combination. That is these two, maroon and all. So what is the name of the report you want to give for this? Table with drill down. Let's say. And you can see the report summary. Whatever we have set using the pages, different pages in this wizard, that is given here. Data source I set to ADV and connection is this guy. This is the connection I have given. And report type I selected table and I have selected stepped, not block. I selected stepped. And style is bold, and drill down, is it enabled or not? It is enabled. Page is color, and grouping is based on class and product name, and details are this information, and this is the query I have used. See, the complete information is here in the report summary. If you want to preview it, then you can check this, or you can, even without checking that, you can generate the report, and once the report is generated, you can preview it using this button. Okay. Now, if you see, this is group by page. It is in color. This is color, and this is your first step, and this is your second step, and the third one is details part. That is discount amount, tax, total product cost, tax amount, and sales amount. I expanded the size. That's it. Let me open the report now. Let me see. I'm showing you the preview of the report. So as the data is more, it is taking some time. Okay, fine. If you see the first level, the first group is I selected class. Under H, I have all these products. Under each product, this is the detail amount, that is discount amount, total product cost, and so on. But if you see, this page is showing only black color product sales. If you go to the next page, blue. Third page, multicolor. Fourth page, not applicable color. Fifth page, red color. Sixth page, silver. Seventh page, white. Eighth page, yellow, and so on. Why? Because I grouped the page based on color. And sorry, yeah, I grouped the pages based on color, and I applied grouping for class and English product name. Now this is not looking good. The drill down is not good in this case. So how to remove the drill down? There is some options we need to set. We will discuss about all those features in coming sessions. For now, let me format this report. So this name is pretty big. I don't want to show this. Products is enough for me, and the size is pretty small. So products name are very lengthy, and discount is enough for this. Discount. I'll name it as total, and tax amount is fine. It is small name, and I'll name this guy as sales. And I'll set everything, these 4 to right align. So this is right align, and I'll set these products and this guy to left align. Now let's see whether it looks good or not. This is better, not that worst. It was damn worst last time. So this is better. So this is how you can format your report, and we are going to spend a lot of time on formatting the reports. So what I'm trying to explain here is this is grouping part. The one what you are seeing here, the plus sign, I mean the class and the English product name are having groups, and this is page wise breaks or page groups. So color. Now let me take a new report, same kind of template. Here I'm taking same Adventure Works, I'm connecting to same local host, and I'm making this one as shared connection. And you can see this guy, the first report has not created the shared connection here. Now click on next. I think I have the query still in my hand. I copied the same. Here, instead of table, I'm going for matrix. And for matrix, you are instead of groups, you have 2 things. One is column and rows. You can have columns and you can have row groups also. So in row group, I want to show, let's say, I'll include this class in columns. That means this class will be splitted and showed in the columns, and color will be in rows. English product name will be in rows, and these guys will be in details. Let's see. And enable drill down. Again, you can check it or not. Let me check the same. And the color combination, I'll go for this bold again. You can see that preview and matrix report with drill down. Click on finish. Here in this case, the class is your columns. Here you can see I'm setting everything to right align or center align, and these 2 guys to left align. Just like in SSRS. In SSRS also we were not getting the row group column names, right? We are not getting these names in SSRS. I don't know how many of you remember that. You can go and revisit the same. I'm increasing some size of this, and class is the column group. Under that I have discount amount. I'll make it as discount, and this total product cost as total. and tax amount is fine, and sales amount is also, if I increase the size, it will be fine. Now let me see the preview. The same query is executing the database, the same data is being pulled, but if you see here, this guy, this discount, total, tax amount and sales amount is for blank class. There is a blank class, and high class, this is the split up or breakup, I can say, and this is the low class, and this is the middle class. You can have, you have the data for everything, right? So this is the beauty of this, and you can see the color wise it is split, and you have products under that. This is the row grouping. First is black, color, under that you have the data, and you can see this is taking more space than the blue. The reason is the 6 here is coming to the next line. So let's see how to format the same. I'm taking these 4, go into properties. There is an option called format. Don't worry about all these things. We are going to revisit it. .00, and let's see now how it looks. So the black color, everything is aligned, and you can see the comma separator and 2 decimals. I've just changed one property, and you can see the beauty of the report now is changed. The report is changed entirely, and you can see the formatting and everything is too good. This is the matrix report with drill down option, and you have couple of options here like step. You can try all those stuff. There is nothing new. You just try the remaining options. Like you can see the shared data source is created just because I checked the shared data source in the last case. Now the shared data source is ready to use in all the reports. Instead of creating the same connection again and again, you can make use of this. Or if you want to connect to the new database, you can make use of the option new data source. Or if you are going to get the data from same shared data source or the database which is being pointed for using the shared data source, you can use that. Select the query, next, and in tabular you have a couple of other options like for God's sake, let me select this stuff now. You have options like include subtotals. You just try it out. Why? Because we are not gonna use this report project wizard. This is called report wizard. You are not gonna use this option at all. You are gonna use the option add new item to create a new report. So we're going to discuss about this creating new reports using a report template rather than report wizard in next sessions. So this is about the basics of SSRS, and from next sessions we are going to start our job with our discussions with about reports using report template. You can see here again you can select report wizard, which is nothing but the same old stuff which you have done in last 2 examples, and this is our report template where you will get empty skeleton in which you have to take care of everything. You have to do the job. You have to create the data source. You have to create the data set, and you have to create that. You have to design your report. But in the wizard, everything is by using with the help of wizard. Click next, 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 and click on finish. The report will be generated for you by SSRS server. But this option is not the same case. It is entirely different case. And if you want to create a new data source like this, you can use this option. If you want to create a data set, you can use this option. What is the data set? We have not created any data set. Here you are listening to the word data set. What is the data set? Data set is nothing but the one which is holding which holds the data, which holds the tables. Okay. The query, whatever you are selecting here, you can see design the query. This is nothing but a data set. Okay. You will come to know about all these concepts: data sources, data sets, shared data source, and all the stuff that you have in SSRS in next sessions. That's it for today, and catch you tomorrow with remaining concepts of SSRS. Thank you.